For the past decade, we've seen the transgender ideology capture mainstream institutions, including hospitals, medical associations, schools, and of course the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Well, despite this ideological capture, there still exist many doctors and healthcare professionals that do follow the science, and they have serious concerns about the current protocols promoted for the care of children and adolescents experiencing discomfort with their biological sex. Now, to bring this coalition together, the American College of Pediatricians has authored the Doctors Protecting Children Declaration, which actually launches tomorrow, and we're going to get a preview. Joining me now to discuss this is Dr. Jill Simons. She is the Executive Director of the American College of Pediatricians. Dr. Simons, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to see you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So what are doctors coming together here in Washington, D.C. to do tomorrow?
So as you know, Tony, we at the American College of Pediatricians have been sounding the alarm for years about the harms that are being done to children in the name of, standards of care. 9 months ago, we launched the Biological Integrity Initiative, which included a website that is full of resources for parents, even physicians, policymakers, and it's just been flooded with people going to the site, contacting us, reaching out, and it's just become clear that this issue is getting more and more attention, which is good.
Right.
As you know, we aren't the only ones that have been sounding the alarm. There are many other organizations that have been concerned, and many, from all different spectrums of policy are concerned about this. And we've been talking for months, even longer, about how this needs to stop and end. And people have tried, and we have been pushed to the sidelines and discredited and, been dismissed, saying that there's a consensus.
Right.
Well, we're here to say that there is no consensus about these standards of care. And in fact, they are harmful. So we are saying enough.
Dr. Simons, it appears that the tide's turning. That, you plant a flag on truth even when it's not in vogue, but eventually people begin to come around. And it would appear to me that people are starting to come around because of the harms that have come from this radical ideology.
You're absolutely right. It has been turning. What really propelled the truth coming out were a couple things in the past couple of months. One was the leak of the WPATH files, the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, and they exposed the very doctors who are doing these that, their doubts, their concerns. So that was quite alarming.
And they hid those because they didn't want that information out there. They knew they didn't have the science on their side, but they hid it.
Right. It's horrible, some of the things that were leaked. And then recently we had Dr. Hillary Cass. She's the pediatrician that is leading or led the review that was done in England by the National Health System, looking at what is going on in these clinics. And she just released her final report where she, said that they need to stop the current protocols and really just released a lot of evidence against them.
So the declaration that you will be releasing tomorrow, what does it aim to do?
So we are calling on our medical colleagues, doctor to doctor, namely the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Endocrine Society, the Pediatric Endocrine Society, there's a list of them, who are promoting these harmful protocols that they say are standards of care. And even despite Dr. Cass saying that they are out of touch and not based in evidence, they are doubling down and insisting that these are the correct thing that should be done. So we are uniting our voices, and we have presented them with a declaration listing facts, research, multiple.
Have they done that? Have they presented the research that is peer-reviewed to the medical community to support their positions?
Right. You would think such a major, standards of care would be based in very good studies, but it's not. And that was one thing that Dr. Cass shed light on, and that we've known and others have been shedding light on. Most of the protocols that these organizations are following in the U.S. are based on these, they're called Dutch studies. They were done in the Netherlands, and they were very small studies, weak evidence, and they have been applied to children. And there are really no good studies since then. In fact, there's several studies that show that there's harm. And so they really have nothing to stand on.
So, Jill, let me ask you this question. I know you're speaking to doctors, but I want you to take just a moment to speak to parents because, we look up to doctors and we don't really ask a lot of questions of doctors. We say, okay, that's what you say. You're the experts on this. What should they be asking doctors who would recommend a certain protocol that they just don't feel right about when it comes to their children?
Right. Well, it breaks my heart that my profession has been captured by this ideology, and I want parents to know that there are good doctors out there that are looking out for really is best for their children. So, we say no child is born in the wrong body. We know that children, if they're supported through puberty, if they're having discomfort with their biological sex, that they will, when allowed to go through puberty, will be comfortable in their biological sex. Conservatively, 85%. That's a huge number.
That's overwhelming.
Right. Some studies even say more.
And that's considering the fact that you have all of the peer pressure and all this stuff on the outside. But still, if you just let them go through this process, they're going to come out pretty much on the other side where they need to.
Right. So we're here, the American College of Pediatricians and our coalition, to support parents and to say we're here for you.
Very quickly, where can folks get more information?
Yep. So the declaration will be launched tomorrow. It's doctorsprotectingchildren.org.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be live on the website.
Yep, it'll be live. We will be having a press conference live at 10 Eastern that will be streamed on the website, doctorsprotectingchildren.org.
All right. Dr. Simon, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate all the work that you guys do.